Israel has voted to ban the operation of UNRWA in so-called Israel and in Palestine. One, this tells you that you have been lied to by Israel and the West. Israel does control a lot of policy in Palestine. They have a lot of control over what goes on and who operates and what operates in Palestine. So when they say Israel has nothing to do with Palestine, Israel controls Palestine still to this day. And two, they've been wanting to do this for a long time. They've pulled the trigger because they want to kill more Palestinians. UNRWA, despite all its flaws as part of the UN, has been substantial in its aid to the Palestinian people since the 1940s. They have been there for decades helping Palestinians, providing food, providing shelter, providing schooling, providing protection. So many things for Palestinians, especially in Gaza, comes from UNRWA. And Israel doesn't want that. The US already cut their funding after Israel lied about UNRWA having connections to Hamas. And now the US, the UK and Germany are like, no guys, we condemn these actions from Israel, no. Are they going to do anything? No. Are they going to sanction Israel? No. Are they going to block arms to Israel? No. They're just going to use their fluffy little words and say, oh guys, no, that's bad, yeah. And all the while, Israel will continue to murder Palestinians, will continue to murder people in Lebanon, will continue to murder people across the Middle East because the West benefits from it monetarily. Israel's decision to ban UNRWA and designate it a terrorist organization will legitimately kill people, whether it be one, UNRWA decides not to leave in 90 days because they're so integral to the Palestinian people, especially in places like Gaza. Israel may just start targeting them. I mean, they're already targeting UNRWA as a whole. They bomb UNRWA schools, they kill UNRWA workers, they bomb UNRWA food facilities, but they might start intensifying that because legally Israel has said these are terrorists, so we can continue to target them and target them with more force. This will kill plenty of Palestinians, this will kill plenty of UNRWA workers. Two, if UNRWA does decide, okay, we need to pull out in those 90 days because the United States has said we're not going to tell Israel to stop, despite Israel being a colonial outpost, it's going to kill a bunch of Palestinians because Palestinians will have less places to get food, less places to get shelter, less places to be educated, less places to get water. They will continue to die in droves. Furthermore, UNRWA operates not just in Palestine, but it operates in places like Lebanon, places like Syria, places like Jordan. Does this mean Israel might start targeting those countries, targeting UNRWA in those countries as legitimate targets? This will kill people in those countries. This will mean Israel has another excuse to invade those countries like they did to Lebanon, trying to invade Lebanon and land grab in Lebanon under the guise of fighting Hezbollah. They're going to try and do this again in Lebanon, try and do it again in Syria, take more than the Golan Heights, try and take Jordan as well. This is why this decision is so dangerous. It's going to kill Palestinians regardless. It might kill people outside of Palestine. And it's also Israel can quicken their murder of Palestinians and can try and get rid of the status of a Palestinian refugee, try and force Palestinians to be so under pressure, so deprived of every part of life that they decide that they cannot be Palestinians anymore because refugees leave and become part of another country by choice. They have to choose to do that. And Palestinians don't want to do that. So Israel is trying to make it as uncomfortable, as dangerous as possible for them. So then they, of their own choice, decide to no longer be Palestinian. So then Israel can say, hey, look, they chose to leave. It wasn't us, and then colonize the land. And the final thing on Israel and UNRWA, Israel never gave any evidence for their claims that UNRWA employees were part of Hamas or took part in October 7th. A UN inquiry, this is on Middle East Eye, a UN inquiry published in April found no evidence of wrongdoing by UNRWA staff, noting that Israel had neither responded to requests for names and information nor, quote, informed UNRWA of any concrete concerns relating to UNRWA staff since 2011, unquote. So Israel have designated UNRWA a terrorist organization, have said they're going to ban UNRWA working in so-called Israel, in Palestine, and probably the surrounding countries. And yet they have no evidence for their claim. And the United States has paused all funding for UNRWA until, I believe, at least the end of next year. And the United States was a big funder of UNRWA. It was kind of their way of being like, okay, we know we're colonizing Palestine, so let's just give money to UNRWA and I will, wipe the slate clean. Some countries have reinstated their funding. The UK said they were going to reinstate their funding. Spain has reinstated theirs. France has. I think Italy has, and I'm not sure on Germany. I doubt Germany has. They might have, though. And so all of this essential aid, all of this essential work that UNRWA does for the Palestinian people, and again, they are part of the UN, there are still issues, but they have been essential in all walks of life to the Palestinian people since the Nakba, since 1948. And Israel have just said, with no evidence, they are a terrorist organization, they are banned. And even though some nations have come out, the UK, Germany, Korea, France, have said, guys, don't do this, this is bad, the United States hasn't said anything. And I strongly, strongly doubt any of these nations that have come out and condemned the policy are going to do anything. Is the UK going to finally put sanctions on Israel? Well, David Lammy said in Parliament yesterday that calling the killing of Palestinians a genocide is wrong, and that it degrades other genocides, even though, as per the Lancet, probably about 200,000 people have been killed in Gaza alone, and that's because Gaza has stopped counting. They cannot count more than the 43,000 that have 100% confirmed been killed because they can't move the rubble, because the Civil Defense Force can't operate, because Israel keeps killing the Civil Defense Force workers who are the ones who are pulling bodies out of the rubble, and they can't operate anymore because Israel keeps killing them, because Israel likes to kill aid workers. They like to kill people from the World Food Programme, from UNRWA, from the Civil Defense Force, and they get away with it because their biggest ally, they're essentially the person controlling everything, the United States, does not say anything. They are A-okay with it. Both political candidates are okay with what Israel is doing. And so Israel thinks they can get away with what they've done just now with UNRWA.